Okay, here we are. Well, we're on recording. Hi, folks. It's myself and Master Ogborn, and we're going to basically be talking about our Taekwondo life. We've started the story called the Master Story. So we thought we'd perhaps replay a little bit of it and start it from now. So I know in the previous videos that we posted. We talked about us meeting at primary school and junior school, and then we talked about going on from there, about actually finding, I found a Taekwondo school. I saw a poster actually when I was an engineer at Rolls-Royce, which had Taekwondo, the most powerful martial art in the world. And I thought it was a great one to come on, to actually have a look at. I did. Really enjoyed going along, and then I was encouraging, I think I left it. I was encouraging Master Ogborn to come along and watch a session. So perhaps you can tell us about that, Master O.
Yeah, well, I was away at the time, if you remember. I was in Cambridge learning to be a laboratory analyst for a seed company, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed. But again, recapping on the story, we started going to nightclubs, pubs, parties, and we just found there's just so much violence out there. And my dad was a World War II veteran, and I remember I came home one night, a few guys had jumped me and given me a bit of a beating, although I did okay. He said I needed to toughen myself up. So he asked me to go along to boxing, which I wasn't really that keen on. And then we looked at Higashi karate, which I think you went along to, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and it was good actually. I enjoyed it. It was a good experience. Although there was a lot of good guys. It was a very strong karate club with some really good.
Yeah, it was. And I think most of the doormen in Bristol went to that club, didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of them did, and they also had a chap called Henry Cornwall lived down the road from me. Who was a really good international karate fighter, did really well.
He was very good, yes he was. And I think later on, once I got to red belt and you were a black belt, we fought those guys in the Bristol Martial Arts Open, which is a competition in St. Paul's. And that was unbelievable, wasn't it? I mean, obviously we're skipping forward a bit here, but perhaps we can mention that at a later date. But yeah, we just wanted to get involved in, we love sport. You know, I loved football. Football was like every schoolboy's dream, might be a professional football. And of course, that never was going to happen. And then I got involved with cricket. I always played cricket for fun. But then I joined a cricket club when I was like 15, 16, went on cricket tours, and just absolutely loved the family atmosphere there. I did very well at it. And later on, I was offered trials at Gloucestershire, where again, didn't quite make it. But the key to this was we both love sport. I really remember quite fondly that you would always push me and say, you know, let's get ourselves fit, and we'd run around the park. We lived in the centre of Bristol, and there was a park next to my house. And I always remember quite fondly, because I tried really hard. I would run around the park once, and by the time I'd done it once, you'd lap me 3 times. So I did 1 lap. I think you did 3 or 4.
Yeah, I certainly loved my fitness at that time. Well, I still do, and that's always been my thing. I've always sort of tried to stay fit. But then again, I suppose I was running around the park. I was a great build for it. I was an Ethiopian type build in those days. So I was very light. And wasn't a lot of weight on my legs, so running around that park was easy, really. And then I think, probably physically you were still developing, I suppose. Your muscles really had.
Yeah, I mean, I just found I couldn't understand running. I got that as I was older, and I feel that more stronger. I got relatively good for it, good at it. But then we were building ourselves up to go to Higashi karate. And then you came back and showed me this poster of the most powerful martial art in the world, which is Taekwondo. And I do remember that you then went along, but I had to go to Cambridge, and I was up there for 6 weeks. And when I come back, you take your first grading. And then you introduced me to some of the guys that used to train. I remember a guy called Tank, who they were a Hell's Angel group, and this guy was the head of it, or one of the top guys there. And he was unbelievably good. He could do the box splits. He had a big long beard, long hair, very aggressive, and didn't suffer fools gladly. So I plucked up enough courage to go along to the first class to watch you train. And I remember sat on a box, a gymnastic box, and sat up on there watching the class. And I thought how strict and brutal it was. The instructor would shout commands, and you had to jump down. The last one would get more press ups. You stand on people's backs. If nobody talked in the class, if you talked in the class, you would be absolutely murdered. And then it got to the end of the class where I remember there was a chap who, I can't remember who it was, Ray, but there was a chap who was being stretched, and he kept moving backwards on his bum. And the instructor kept following him until he came below me, and I'm looking down on him. And the instructor was pushing his legs out wider and wider. And this guy was absolutely screaming in agony, please let me go. I remember he looked up to me and caught my eye, and he had tears in his eyes. It was just brutal. And I thought, I don't want to do this. This is crazy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember the stretching session, and it was funny because really at the time that was sort of my impressions of martial arts, was the fact that you know you're going to go along and there was a possibility that it was going to hurt, and you know it was very, very strict. But I can't remember if we walked home or I think we probably walked home, and you were saying, no, I'm not doing that. I was going, come on, no, that's the first time we've ever done that. I don't think we'll do it again. So I was trying to convince you that it was okay, and you weren't having it at the time. Although eventually, obviously, you did start. But yeah, I think the funny thing was with those sessions. I mean, they were like 1.5, 2 hour sessions long. There was a start time, but you didn't know when it was going to end. So you just sort of went with the flow, and on one session we'd sort of cover so many different aspects of Taekwondo. It was unbelievable. Patterns, sparring, stretching, fitness. And it was no wonder that people got injured on a regular basis, because you just pushed your body to the limit all the time. Even those who weren't fit enough were pushing themselves too hard, really.
And you'd already taken a grading by then. You got the grading award or an A pass, a distinction.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't remember if I got my. I think I got the grading award on my second grading. Actually, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first.
That's right. Because I took my first grading on that grade.
That's right. Yeah, and
I got grading. I got an A pass as well.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and it was interesting because obviously Master Ree took the grading, and it was a very, very strict affair. And we were there in lines for ages. It seemed like ages waiting for him just to walk in. Everybody was silent, and then as he came in, everybody clapped, sat down, and he had that presence about him. And actually, then he was a.
He was a big guy for Oriental, wasn't he? Most Koreans. I mean, we met General Che, and he was 5'1", but Master E looked like he was 6 foot, and he had that big mop of black hair, didn't he? And he had those massive fists.
Yeah, and he sort of had that presence. I mean, he was a 7th degree then, and he was still very active in Taekwondo at that time, and still doing demos and still breaking wood and doing lots of stuff. So it was great. It was great to sort of see him. To be honest, I wouldn't say it was his peak, but certainly see him, active at that time.
He was. That would have been 1978, 79.
Yeah, about 78 at that time, and Taekwondo was really in its infancy at that time, and there were only 2 sort of major organisations. You had UKTA, which was obviously under Master E, and I think it was the BTA, which was like probably the original group in a way. But UK.
BTK, I don't know. Yeah, BTA, something like that. Yeah. And we had our little license books, the British Korean Martial Arts Association.
That's right. Yeah, and Taekwondo was in its infancy, but the UKTA was like the association because Mastery obviously brought Taekwondo to Europe, and that was the association to be in. And obviously, sort of soon after that, the WTF started to become a bit more prominent, but it was still quite small. I mean, it was certainly small in the southwest. It was probably a bit bigger up north in the very early days, up near Manchester, Nottingham, that sort of area. But certainly in the southwest, it didn't really sort of make an impact until probably the 80s, I would say.
Yeah, and then from there we loved it. We got into it. We loved it. We were, running around the parks. We said earlier, and I remember that funny situation we've mentioned many times where we saw somebody do an outward crescent kick, and I put my hand out to you, and you hit my hand. And I said, "Right, I still want to get my leg over your head."
That's right. The funny thing about that was that I actually believed that you could do it, and I actually stood there. And I got smacked against the side of my face.
Yeah. Nice.
And my head was really
magic. Yeah. And I remember going to his class. I was so worried because I couldn't do press ups. I just couldn't do one press up. And I remember after I'd gone to the park, we'd go back to my house, Effingham Road, and there was a wall that went up to my hip. And I remember I used to do press ups on there, trying to practice press. Even that I found difficult because I was I don't know 16, 17, I don't know 18, and I was just 6 foot, stick thin. And I remember I just couldn't even do one press up. I found difficult, and you were banging them out like nobody's business. Again, I was trying to find some inspiration to just keep it going. But I loved it at that time. It was great. We would go to Bishop Road, where my mum had an antique shop just off Gloucester Road. Gloucester Road still is the biggest road in Western Europe to have independent shops on, we're told. And then on a Friday, we would go to Kingsdown Sports Centre.
Yeah, and it was great. I mean, as you said, the fitness side I loved it because at the time when I started cycling, I was still playing a lot of football and a very, very high standard of football. So my fitness was really, really good. And I also prided myself on being the fittest in the team. I was a wing back and known as a guy with a good engine, so I could get upfield and back down the field and up the field and down the field. And any lost cause I would always chase. So my fitness levels were really good. So it was actually ideal for Taekwondo. The only thing that I really struggled with in those early days was flexibility. My flexibility wasn't very good. I started to work at it on a daily basis. Eventually, I suppose, I don't know, around blue, I had a reasonable amount of flexibility. But I mean, they were good days. Those early days of training. And I think in a lot of respects, we were very naive with martial arts then. We just did as we were told, and we didn't question anything. Got on with it, and we did it, and that was it.
Well, I want to take you back as well. I want to take you back to, I read when we had this on our Facebook account, you wrote it was very dangerous to go out to nightclubs and you saw people getting attacked. And you said that you saw people got glassed. And people may think, oh, that's an exaggeration, but it simply wasn't. I mean, that happened at a nightclub. They allowed us to get in at a young age. And if you remember, we were stood by the by the dance floor, you know, sort of trying to look cool. Until I vividly remember, to my right there was 3 guys, and 2 of them were arguing. And all of a sudden, he had a glass in his hand. He just slammed it into the side of this guy's face, and all hell let loose. And we were all running, you know, trying to keep away from it. And the bangs came in. And do you remember that one? That incident?
Yeah, I do. I remember that particular one. I mean, a lot of them sort of go into one because there was you know, the nightclub that we used to go to. I mean, there was literally a big fight every week. You know, I remember being in there, and there was a big fight in the toilet. Do you remember that one? There was a big fight in the toilet. I do remember the one you were talking about. I also remember,
I remember that vividly.
Yeah, there was a huge.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. And the guy was saying, "Don't hang on, mate, or I'll kill you." And I'm thinking, well, if I was hanging on to him, I wouldn't let go. But there were 2 guys fighting, and everyone was joining in. And I was trying to get out because it was just chaos. And then obviously you'd go outside and, you know, you'd have to sort of run. I remember we used to run away from it sometimes, just get away from the crowd. And the doormen were vicious. There was one guy called the Sailor or the Admiral or something, or the Captain, I don't know. And he was a big sort of steroid using monster. And there was another big, tall, black guy. And if there's any trouble, those 2 would get in and they would just knock people out. They just punch them, beat them up and knock them out. And that used to really intimidate me, because I thought, if I got involved in that, I wouldn't have a clue. Wouldn't have a clue what to do.
Well, I also think, I mean, remember, it's the days before lots of CCTV cameras on nightclubs as well. So, you know, doormen could get away with smacking people first, and then there's just saying, well, you know, I was defending myself or whatever. That's not to say there weren't some good doormen, by the way. I mean, there was, but there were a lot that took advantage of the situation, in quite an evil way sometimes. But it was a difficult time. I think it was, as you mentioned early on, you know, there was a lot of unemployment. You had people coming from different parts of the cities. You also had a big, if you remember, there always used to be a big Welsh contingent that used to come over from Wales, and there was always a lot of fighting when there were a lot of Welsh guys around as well. You know, the Welsh and the Bristolians. You know, it was,
yeah, we got chased once. We got chased once by a group of them. We were walking towards a place called Hoffenbraggs, and they started swinging punches at us. Luckily, none of them hit. We just scarpered and ran as hard as we could. There was about 4 or 5 of us at the time, wasn't there, that we used to go out together.
Yeah. They were interesting, very interesting times, scary times when you look back at it. And you know, sometimes it's amazing that we got through it all in one piece, really. Because, you know, it could have been very, very different at that time. And you know, by the time the sort of police turned up, you know, a lot of stuff had finished, and you know, there was a lot of bloodshed. Even though it was very close to the city centre, and Bridewell police station was very close, the police seemed to take ages to get there. Whether that was a ploy or not, I don't know. It certainly seemed to. I mean, just on this as well. I mean, I would suggest on this story, which is going to run. Maybe we should wrap up in a minute and then come back to it on part 2. Otherwise, this recording is going to be really long. It's going to take a long time to upload. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think it's nice just to let people know the background of how it started. We met each other at Sefton Park Juniors when we were 8 years old. So that had been 1967, 68. And we went to the Cubs and Scouts together, and we loved that regimentation. We loved the outdoors pursuits, the camping. It was just brilliant. And then once we got older, left school, went to further education. We're a bit of a loss. Scouts was okay, but we wanted, and so we started going to clubs and nightclubs, really intimidated by the atmosphere. And wherever we went, there seemed to be trouble. It was a club, a bar, anywhere. It just seemed, you know, a bit scary. So I think the next time we meet and have a chat, perhaps we talk about your days of taekwondo and how the gradings were, and and how we got to black belt, because I know you've got some great stories, because I did competition, I know you did as well, but it really took off once you got to black belt, didn't it?
Yeah, that'd be nice to talk about that next time. But yeah, no, it's been good to reminisce and look back at it, and to see how far we've come, really, because we're talking about sort of 42 years ago now. Yeah, thanks very much for the chat. Let's
Yeah, you too. And I just want to say I hope everyone's safe and well out there, and keep up their personal training, and we'll look forward to talking to everyone again in the next day or so.
Excellent. Okay, see you soon, team. Bye.